welcome to OmniBros, not Manga Thursday. It's BaThursday in the OmniCave with OmniDog and the Omnibus Collector, who is way under the weather. Gio's even wayer under the weather. Yeah. We've got half the squad sick in the back in the green room. So
hopefully you don't catch it from either of us, man.
Yikes. I don't cough in my general direction. COVID. So tonight, due to Riley's not feeling well, we'll probably keep this fairly short. But I got asked to be his co-host, and of course, I know nothing about manga, and I can't decide if if I unbutton this part, it's like I'm David Hasselhoff, but if I button it up all the way, I'm like the minister of comics. So I've got little Spider-Men on my shirt. Those are Spidey heads that I got the idea from Rick Nelson. These are little Spider-Men. So Riley, first we're going to talk about Batman books and Riley's incredible catalog, maps. He made some amazing maps that I think I have the technology. One button less, Jess, or one button more? Oh, you want it down to my navel? Thank you, buddy.
I should I have a Patreon. I don't really do anything on it, just use it as a tip jar like we do, but like I should put my list that you're about to share on there.
Oh yeah,
people could have it. Like, you know, they're part of the $1 tier per month.
Well, then I won't share it because then they could just screen cap it. So I won't share it with the audience, but I'll screen cap it. I mean, if you can screen cap this, here, good luck. Here's what it looks like. Mine's 9 pages.
Damn, and it's it was that much.
Huh?
I didn't realize it was that much.
Well, I didn't go. I don't like printing on the back. It was the post-crisis Batman checklist. That was 7 pages, and then New 52 to current was just 2 pages.
Well, the former, I also mapped out like every omnibus edition that we could potentially have from like basically post-crisis before Nightfall, and then Nightfall before Road to No Man's Land, and then post Road to No Man's Land, like filling in the gaps between everything that we already have in Omnibus.
Okay, before we get into that, let me talk about our fabulous sponsor. And not only do I have a little thingy there, but I think I have, okay, it's there it is. InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions up to 20% off. You can get some things, new releases up to 48% off. Plus your loyalty discounts add 2% to that. Then they got a sale section, 65%. Okay, this is ridiculous. Their spring sale section has stuff that's 65% off. Yeah. And that's a big section. I checked it out, and
good stuff. Also, I think it's sold out now, but I got that Batgirl of Burnside omnibus from the sales section. And it was one that like I was hesitant to pick up because I was like, you know, I love the artwork on this run. I wasn't that crazy about the story, but like for the price that it was going at, I was like, yeah I'll go ahead and grab it now.
And I couldn't believe in the spring sale I got Ultimate Spider-Man Omni #1. I had my choice of all 3 covers.
Yeah, there's
that was great.
A lot of good stuff. I think it's kind of a liquidation type sale. Like now that they've finished their transition, they're trying to, you know, move out some old stock and stuff. I'm curious when we'll see an update on like damages and stuff. There was like a brief update on the damaged items I think last year, and then since then we haven't seen it again, but like there's probably some goodies that'll pop up with that.
Yeah. So at the end of every month, we also give away a $50 gift card. The man himself that was the winner last month is right here, James Abel. James, did you get your card credit? I just looked in my Gmail that I look in once every 2 weeks, and I noticed you messaged me that you hadn't got it yet, but I had just sent it in Monday. So I imagine you probably have it by now, but let me know. Um, so we give away a gift card. $50 goes to a random winner. That is courtesy of IST. That's good for $50 at instocktrades.com.
Courtesy bear.
There $50 or more in an order gets you free shipping in the US. And if you're like a lot of people, this week was at least oversized hardcover Mageddon, and some Omni Mageddons were happening. James says yes, he got it. Good. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's in stocktrades.com. Thank you. My biggest fan, Lou's wife, wasn't here to witness that, but we're having a special another special OmniBros episode tomorrow night, Friday night.
A very special OmniBros.
A very special OmniBros.
We're going to talk about don't do drugs and stuff.
Well, that's about 45 2 years late for me. Thanks.
It's a very special OmniBros.
Yeah, 1977 Jess was like, do drugs. Yeah, we're having it's going to be Lou and me on tomorrow night. We're going to be talking about comics and a little bit of non-spoilery Moon Knight stuff. We won't spoil it. We'll just chat about it. But tonight we have Riley's maps.
So
tell us a bit about these maps, Rye Guy.
Now, I shared these with you because you mentioned that you had found some Batman books that you didn't have.
Right.
And I promise I'm not trying to do like a Batman impression here. I just talk like if I try to talk normal, like I guess I can do that, but like it just it takes more energy than I'd like to expend. So let's just bring it down to here.
Yeah. You're right. You are sounding a little like Swamp Thing too.
Yeah, as I go on, like if I have less energy, I'll take pauses and breaths and stuff. I was talking to my mom earlier. I'm like, Mom, I'm sick. And because I was supposed to come out to Houston to visit this weekend, and I was like, I don't think I can. And I was like pausing deep breaths in between like every clause that I said. Anyway, you mentioned that you had bought some stuff. And I was like, oh, I made a list. Like I made this map of every collected edition for Batman and Detective Comics from Post Crisis, because Post Crisis is that's my area that I collect.
Right.
And so I went through and like I did this a few weeks ago, and I was very proud of this list, but I had no one to share it with because like I don't really talk about comics on my channel.
Mm-hmm.
But when I do talk about comics on TikTok, but my TikTok audience is not the same type of audience that would like appreciate that. So I just like shared it with a couple of people personally, and then I got to share it with you now, and I'm like, cool, now someone can appreciate my work, because it took me several days.
I can see that. This is 9 pages, single spaced of every. Now this is everything released post-crisis Batman checklist, and then
and Detective Comics. So
Batman and Detective.
I didn't go into the tertiary titles or the spin-offs. I did notice at the bottom of one of those, I do have like a list of like the different writers' runs on Robin. I don't know why I did that and no other character. I think I was just curious at the time. But this will help me out because excuse me. I'll go to my shelf sometimes and be like, all right, what issues are not collected, like what do I not have, and I'll like write down on my phone like, detective issue whatever, Batman issue whatever, but the context is not complete, so like if I don't remember what I'm thinking about, I don't really know. So I'll go back and find a note in my phone that just has like random issues of detective. I'm like, okay, that's cool, but like what is collected? And that's what I never wrote down. So I decided to finally just once and for all make like a master list for myself. And so that's what I did. I started with post crisis. So Batman issue, technically it should be 401, but 401 is not collected. So I started with 402, that's in second chances.
Okay.
And then Detective Comics, I just used the beginning of the Dark Knight Detective Volume 1, which is 568, and then just went through. And on the list, like, I don't know if I can screen share. Is that a possibility? Or
I
can
don't
I share
think
what I
you
sent you?
can screen share from. I don't think if you're not signed in, I don't think you can.
Can you are
You
you
want me
able
to highlight one of your lists?
to on yours like screen share?
Yeah. You want me to? That's going to give it away for free.
That's fine. These are our friends here.
Are they though? Let's see. Do you want me to start? Actually, I had a question. Where does does post crisis run up to new 52 current? So it
Yeah, so I
starts with post Christmas, post Christmas starts with post Christmas Batman, and then new 52 is like the last two pages then, because they
yeah,
were two separate texts.
that was the second document, and I just combined mine into one right before we went
Okay.
live. But
Okay. Let me combine them. And what would you like me to show first? Do you want me to show
just
the
start from the top of the post Christmas.
okay, just a sec. I'm pretty sure I can do that. Share screen, window, text edit. Let's see if it'll do that. It's not showing anything. Chrome has lost permission to capture screen. I have to restart Chrome. No, I can't do anything because it's a Chrome issue. Sorry guys, I can't.
Hold on, I might be able to do this.
Oh, okay. I have to sign out and then sign back in, turn off Chrome and give permission to share. But it starts with Batman 402 and goes all the way up to 1040, including I do have Mariko Tamaki's The Neighborhood. I have that hardcover outside. I just saw it. I thought I didn't think I had it. But I do have that. Okay. Okay, Batman and Detective. Okay. Do you think you have the technology?
I'm trying to see.
I mean, I don't think I'll lose the show if I sign out and re-sign in.
Hold on, I might be able to.
Yeah, the frenemies. That's what it is.
To fix it, go to System Preferences, unlock this screen by selecting a lock. Check Google Chrome.
I have a chronological and contemporary Batman reading order that starts at year 1 and ends with Snyder's run. It includes all Batman-related spin-off comics. Wow.
Yeah, a lot of the spin-offs, I was like, no, that's not even worthwhile looking at. Because the problem is the reason I separated the reason I separated the New 52 from the other stuff is because from a certain point, everything's collected, right? And the whole point was to like make this list that could show me what is not collected.
Mm.
And then so that in turn made it easy for me to make maps of anything else that, any other omnibus editions or deluxe editions and stuff that I would like to see happen. And So yeah, that's why that's why I cut it the way I did. And then later I did the post like New 52 to current just so I could know like how many issues each writer did. So it's like, is there enough material for a James Tynion or Tynan Batman omnibus? Is there enough material for a Peter Tomasi detective omnibus? So
Oh yeah, I had a
the
question
answers
where
are yes for both of those.
Robin Bill Willingham has a Robin omnibus.
It was supposed to be released, but I think it got canceled.
Oh, okay. Because I would have got that.
Yeah, that was solicited a while ago, and then like as I was making the list, I was like, I think that got canceled because it should have been out by now. And I looked, and it doesn't exist anymore. Okay, I'm gonna restart Chrome.
Okay.
To see if I can make this work.
Okay. So it's just me right now, and what I will do to keep you entertained is just show you, and then I will show Riley, and he'll tell me where they can go in my collection because I don't know where they go in my collection. I just knew I didn't have them, but I did know they weren't collected anywhere, and except for Batman's Strange Apparitions, which I think is collected in the Englehart Dark Knight. Riley can correct me if I'm wrong. Then I have Batman Venom. These are all things that I got. No, Brian, don't start. This is not manga night. No. Peace and love, peace and love. I'm not giving anything else a chance. No. I love you, but no. Peace and love. Stop. Stop. Just stop. I love you. Peace and love. No manga. Brian trying to slip the manga in while you were gone.
Well, you also like actively hated Berserk.
I didn't care for it.
Like it's not just like, oh, I didn't enjoy it, but you were like, the fuck is this? Like this is terrible.
It just wasn't my cup of tea, and I didn't care to go on with it, and I didn't want to keep reading it. Same with Blade of the Enforcer or whatever that was. What is it? That's westernized?
Blade of the Immortal, which was
Blade of the Immortal. Yeah, I could read that one easily, and it still wasn't my cup of tea, so I decided not to continue there, and that's when I just went, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and it's funny because like I was talking about this with someone else. I was thinking about it to myself recently, how like those deluxe editions have like pushed certain people to like start reading manga for the first time, which is really cool. But at the same time, there's like an expectation of like a lot of people are just like sticking just to that format, which is like not a very common format for the medium.
The deluxe format?
Yeah, like that size. Like there are other hardcovers, but like usually they're smaller, like they're more similar to like digest sized comics.
Right.
There are very few that get that like oversized deluxe that's like the size of a trade paperback. And
yeah,
a lot of the reaction that people have because
they're this size, like the one you sent me.
They'll be a little bit bigger.
Oh, like what part of this book would be bigger?
Yes. There's like this feeling of like most people start on Berserk and they read Berserk and then they're like, this is going to be the same like type of story, the same quality of story in any of these other ones that have the treatment, but it's not. And usually they go to Hellsing, and a lot like the number of people who are just flat out disappointed in Hellsing because it's not the same kind of like indictment on toxic masculinity that Berserk is, and like the depth of story that one has, but instead is just this like vampires fight Nazis type of story. Like they're very disappointed in that. But yeah, Berserk is great. I'm not offended that you don't want to read it. I like understand entirely that it's not for everyone, but like
it's just not my cup of tea. I'm happy that everybody gets this deluxe edition that's so nice. I think it's great.
The only time like when I get upset is when someone like actively goes out of their way to like crap on something. And it's like, dude, if it's not for you, it's not for you. It's fine, but don't like take it out on the entire world worth of people who enjoy it. Right.
Yeah, Death Rattle. Omar has an answer for you. No means no. Thank you, Omar, for saying it so nicely. No means no. However, here's a good question. Riley, I feel like I should ask you, will your wife make you watch Titanic tomorrow for the 110th anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic?
No, my wife won't be in the same room as me tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. You feel you're contagious. Uh,
Um,
I was showing people what I got and where they would place it, but that was just for you to see if you could share, and we can do that a little bit later. But do you think you have the technology to share your list?
Let me see. I'm trying to do it again.
Oh, and Thomas,
No.
did you get my email, Thomas? I did email you and thanked you profusely. It was late. I apologize because I don't go to my Gmail that often, and I couldn't figure out how to get a hold of you. Thomas sent me an enormous package of framed, uh, tiny little sunstone uh, pictures, and also three really big pictures of two out of the three Gotham Sirens. The Gotham Sirens got the wife's okay to be up in the Batcave. Sunstone, not so much. So those are going to have to stay in the probably the box with that Omar can open upon my death. But thank you so much, Thomas. You did me a solid favor sending me those things. So expensive postage wise from the UK. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
I thought you were gonna say you got a package of like candies from the UK.
Oh, that would have been great. But no, he sent me some very nice framed pictures. So you can't share it?
No, I don't know what I need to do to be able to do that. Excuse me, but I'm not able to at the moment.
Before I host tomorrow night, I'll make sure I have the sharing capability clicked into the. I don't think you should share it anyway, just because you want to give it to your patrons.
What did you pick up though? So like let's look at that because that was the
Okay,
whole reason why I even brought it up to you.
sure. And I've got a pen and paper on where it should go because I actually don't know. I started out with strange apparitions. I feel like this might be in the Marshall Rogers uh, Legends of the Dark Knight, but I'm not sure. Uh,
That also, I believe, is pre-crisis, if I'm not.
Pre-crisis. Okay, it certainly could be. Let's see if there's a. Okay, so it wouldn't count.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 1977.
Yeah.
Okay, boom, doesn't count.
But that is a
Venom.
really like solid find.
Sorry.
That is a solid find.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and the Venom one as well, that's one that like there was the new printing that came out. I don't remember when. It was like around 2010-ish, and I meant to pick it up but never did, and then it went out of print as well. So that's what is that? The second arc or the third arc on or something like that on I think it's the okay, so it's Shaman and then Gothic, and I think maybe this is 11 through 15 or something.
Okay, I have Shaman and Gothic. Okay, Shaman,
Let me
Gothic.
double check the pages or the chapters, the issues that are okay, it's 16 through 20. So um so this would go after if you have Prey by
I
Doug
do.
Bunch and Paul Galassi. I don't know
Yeah.
if I'm pronouncing his name right, but that goes after that. This is the fourth arc on there.
So okay, so Prey comes before Venom.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Good. I have all four of those. Neat.
Now, what else did you find?
I found Batman Four of a Kind. Oh, I wonder if this is pre. It's Alan Grant and Chuck Dixon. This could be pre. Type. 1998. It was printed.
annuals from 1995. So
Okay.
this is post-crisis. I'm trying to see around what issue, around when this was published, because they were from 1995. Detective, okay, Batman 515. This was towards the end of Nightfall. Yeah, 515 is the last issue of Nightfall, and I think that those annuals were coming out around that time. So technically, this should go after Nightfall.
Well, there's a big space in my collection where Nightfall should be, so I'll just stick this in there by itself. I got volume 2, and I think Officer Down volume 1 I must be missing. This is volume 2 of Officer Down.
All right, so that's an interesting one. Do you have it's Detective, the New Gotham, Batman New Gotham volume 1 and 2? They're paperbacks with white spines written by Greg Rucka.
I do have them both.
It like technically goes between those.
Where's volume 1?
That's that volume 1 of that, because that is a volume 2, is in New Gotham.
Oh, so this goes in between the
Yeah,
two
because
New Gotham ones.
they back like, I don't know, like 2012, 2013, something like that. They reprinted all the New Gotham stuff into those 2 new paperbacks, but they left out only the crossover. So I think it's only like 1 issue of Detective, if I'm not mistaken. And the only way to get that 754, yeah, 754, the only place to get that is within the Officer Down paperback. So I have that on my shelf. I put it, I think, after volume 2, just because I wanted the like spines together.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one's interesting. That one's interesting that they decided, I guess, just to keep those two, the new ones, not so fleshed out with material, because it was like a 4-part crossover with a couple of extra tie-ins, and so they just cut it.
Okay.
But luckily, when that happened and I noticed that, I was able to get that volume for like $10 or something.
I got charged $12.95 for it. Cover price. These were all I couldn't believe that I found that first print of Venom at this store. I felt like I almost had to blow the dust off it. I don't think I realized it was the first print. The first print's pretty old. So
Yeah.
I don't know how it survived there. This is kind of out of the Batman part. It's Batgirl, it's Ghost and Batgirl. So I'm just gonna stick this in the Batgirl section. I don't even know which Batgirl it is.
That's Cassie.
Okay,
So
the
that
new
would
Batgirl.
go like with her books, because I think they were releasing some paperbacks of her run. I don't think they went through the entire thing, but I would just put that with those.
Okay, with Cassie's run.
Yeah.
Ghost, Batgirl, Cassie's run. Okay, I have that. For some reason, I have that upstairs, not with my regular Batman. All my Batgirl stuff's upstairs. Because Cassie. Okay. Now, Enman says chronologically, those stories in Four of a Kind take place after The Man Who Laughs, I believe. Those are very early encounters with those villains. I didn't even write down where Four of a Kind went. Oh, okay. So that helps because I don't have any.
Yeah, since you don't have Nightfall, if
Right.
you have, I always question where I want to put my copy of The Man Who Laughs, though, anyway, because it's like, do I want to put it chronologically, like early with like year 1 and stuff, or do I want to put it where the issues of Detective Comics that are collected within?
Okay.
Because there's like the 3-issue Made of Wood story arc, which is collected only in that, and that is placed, I'm trying to find it. on my list here. I can't read. Oh, here it is. It goes after Death and the Maidens and before Brian K. Vaughan's Batman collection, which is before War Games and after Bruce Wayne Fugitive.
Okay. Okay, wait. So I have Bruce Wayne Murder and Fugitive. So it comes after Murder Fugitive, and Death and the Maidens comes before Murder and Fugitive.
Murderer, Fugitive, Death and the Maidens, The Man Who Laughs, specifically because of the Detective Comics issues that are in there, and then Batman by Brian K. Vaughan, and then War Games.
Okay, I got all those. Okay, and so wait, what book are we talking about? Four of a Kind still? Yeah.
No, I'm talking about The Man Who Laughs.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to put it, if you're looking to do chronological and you wanted to do like Batman Year One, and then put The Man Who Laughs and then like Long Halloween or whatever, that's how you wanted to do things, then yeah, Four of a Kind would go somewhere over there. But I usually put things in the order of like when the issue came out.
Okay. Just a couple more. Batman Blink.
That one is another. That's a much later Legends of the Dark Knight, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check my answer. Check my work. Yeah, 156
it's
to
all
158.
Legends of the Dark Knight.
Yeah, so this like goes significantly later on, but it's before Shadow of the Bat started up, so it would be before No Man's Land, like before.
Okay.
Because I think Shadow of the Bat started around No Man's Land.
No Man's Land. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling.
Two more. Batman Gotham County line.
Hold on, I'm gonna double check my work on the. Okay, so Batman, the Blink actually was. I'm off. I'm off on a lot of what I said. I have sick head.
That's cool. I have empty head, so it's working out fine.
It was around the same time as Hush.
Oh, so Blink comes around Hush. See, part of the problem is I have Long Halloween in the omnibus form, and then I have Hush Absolute. So they're in two completely different places than these paperbacks. I have all my Batman paperbacks and hardcover, well, mostly hardcovers and trades over there, but the omnis and absolutes.
Do you have it goes? It's also before War Games.
Okay, I'll put it before War Games. I have that.
Do you have As the Crow Flies by Judd Winnick?
That doesn't sound familiar to me.
Because it would be before that one and before Broken City.
No, I don't have that.
Do you have Broken City by Brian Azzarello? You might. I don't know if you have that in the Batman by Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Risso.
I do. Yeah.
Okay. So that paperback wise, it goes after Fugitive and before War Games.
Before Fugitive and War Games. Okay. Last book. Wait. Oh, Gotham County Line. Batman Gotham County Line. What are the stories in here? Steve knows. Special thanks.
It's a mini series from 2005.
Yeah, Batman Gotham County Line. It was a mini series in 2005. Yeah. See, I wouldn't even know where to start with this one.
That one is.
You know the answer to that, Austin. You know the answer to that.
That one looks like it's like around Infinite Crisis era.
Uh-oh. Infinite Crisis is at its own Omni.
Hold on, I'm going to get an answer here in a second.
All right. Thanks, Super Laugh Hard. That's nice of you.
646. It was published at the same time as 646, which is around, that's Under the Red Hood.
Ah, I have that.
So it was being published the same time as Under the Red Hood was happening.
Okay,
so
good.
I'd probably put it after.
That's Gotham line, Gotham County line. And the last one is Batman, the Bat, and the Beast.
That is from Batman Confidential, I think.
Good grief. How do you guys remember all this? I just knew I didn't have it. I don't. Peter Milligan's the writer, and I like him. And it was what? Batman? Oh, yeah, Batman Confidential, 31 through 35.
So Batman Confidential ran from 06 to 2011. This would put it closer to around like 2008 or 2009. Let me see. Batman Confidential. What do you say? 36?
I think 31 through 35.
31. Okay. 31 to 35.
Yeah.
Which was published in 2009. And what was happening in September of 2009? That would have been around the time that Morrison's run on Batman was happening. Yep, it was at the same time as actually when he when they launched Batman and Robin, it was like around that same time. So I don't know if do you have Long Shadows? Batman Long Shadows by Judd Winnick?
No.
Do you have the Batman Battle for the Cowl?
Yeah.
It would go after that.
After Battle for the Cowl. Okay, thank you. All right. Now that's enough of me. Thank you to those of you who stayed with us. Here's Max. I'm late and intoxicated. Did I miss the part where you two stand up to show off your shirts? Asking for a friend.
Mine's not exciting. It's just a Nintendo 64 shirt from like Target.
Mine just has little Spider-Man heads on it.
Yours is a lot more exciting.
Well, I'm glad I got it because it's super lightweight and it's been 85 here all of a sudden. We went from winter to summer all of a sudden.
Damn.
True graphic novel. I'm going to go you one better. I got rid of it. That's how much it sucks.
I'll do you one better. I never had it.
So your list is.
So what I found when doing that was like there are very few issues uncollected between like Crisis and let's say from year one to present. There are very few issues uncollected. When it comes to Batman, there's issues 575 to 581 have never been collected, and that's an arc by Larry Hama.
Yeah, I just see that. Comes right after No Man's Land Omnibus 2.
Yeah. That'd be interesting to have that collected in some sort of format because it's never been done before. And Larry Hama is a very well-known name, like not to like outside of the comic, mind, like people who are into comics obviously really know who Larry Hama is, but outside of that, his name is not as big for people who are just kind of on the surface level of stuff. Like probably don't know him unless you're reading like G.I. Joe right now. But I feel like it's weird that it's not collected. It's just a random like 7 issues. And then after that, the next time that there's anything that's not collected is 659 to 662, which is called Grotesque by John Ostrander. And that happened like between issues of Morrison's run collected within the first omnibus. That one I have like wanted to get the singles of for the longest time just to kind of fill that gap. But I don't feel like it'll ever get collected at this point. Randomly, there were like a few different points in around that time around.
Yeah, I see that there's some random issues that just haven't been collected in anything.
Batman RIP, like around that time. So like there's issue 684 of Batman and issue 851 of Detective are The Last Days of Gotham by Denny O'Neil. Neither of those have ever been collected. It's just, and that's weird to me because like they had a bunch of collections around that time that I feel like that could have been put into. Like, for instance, whatever happened to the Caped Crusader, they could have easily just added those in and been like, you know, it's Last Days of Gotham. You add that in with like this kind of eulogy to Batman. Or it could have been thrown in with the Time in the Batman collection, which had a few issues by Morrison, issues 700 to 702, but it also included the issue 703, which has never been collected anywhere else, and that's The Great Escape by Fabian Nicieza. Speaking of Nicieza, the last issue of Batman that has not been collected is 713. It was like literally the final issue before the New 52 started, and it just was not collected. So like the last collected edition of the pre-New 52 of pre-Flashpoint Batman was Tony Daniel's Eye of the Beholder, which goes up to 712, but does not
Right.
collect. It had 704 to 707 and then 710 to 712, and then it just doesn't collect 713. That makes me really annoyed because it's like, dude, you could have just thrown that in there easily. Those missing issues are from an Azrael crossover called Judgment on Gotham, which is extremely out of print and very hard to find. So if you ever see that one in the wild, let your boy know.
Oh, I'd buy it for you, but not for me.
um, moving over to Detective Comics, there's more that's uncollected with Detective, and this gets really choppy in a little bit. So
Wait, just want to mention Larry's library here. Somebody mentioned T-shirts. Larry's got a huge closet full of all his T-shirts hung up. That's Kristen's dad. Shout out to Larry's library, new YouTube channel. It's really great. Y'all should check it out.
I need to get more T-shirts. I haven't had a new one in a while, and there's that certain like, I don't know, like that satisfaction of like adding a few T-shirts into the rotation, and like those are the ones that you just go with for the next 2-3 weeks. And I haven't had that in a while, so I need to do some T-shirt shopping. So Detective Comics. On the Detective Comics side, the first chunk that's not collected is we can tell exactly what's going to happen. 644 to 653 is likely just going to be Dark Knight Detective Volume 8, and that will actually be the final volume of Dark Knight Detective leading into Nightfall. Post Nightfall issues, this is another interesting one. 683 to 694 are 12 issues by Chuck Dixon with Graham Nolan on art. Most of the artwork, those 12 issues have never been collected. And it's funny because it's interesting to me because Dixon was such a big name on Batman and on the Batman franchise. Graham Nolan was such a big like artist on the franchise. They released that Night Out collection of Batman issues like 2 years ago. And
yeah, I see that.
They never released these. They never released these issues. Next up is a single issue. 723 is a crossover with Green Arrow called Brotherhood of the Fist. At least I'm pretty sure it's not collected. I don't know if it's collected in a Green Arrow collection.
If you say it's not collected, it's not collected.
I tried to look. And I looked over like, you know, what I could find about Green Arrow collections, and I didn't find it. But if I'm wrong, then cool. And then it gets choppy. Like there's a bunch of random shit that's not collected. So like after Bruce Wayne Murder and Bruce Wayne Fugitive, we have Paul Bowles take over on 776 for a single issue that's not collected, and then 777 to 782 are an arc by Ed Brubaker called Dead Reckoning that's not been collected either.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and so 783 he left for one issue, and that's when Greg Rucka came in to do the Death and the Maidens prologue issue that led into that like mini series or maxi series, and then he came back for a few more issues that were collected within the Batman the Man Who Laughs collection. But it's weird, like, you know, they have Batman by Ed Brubaker collections, but they didn't think to also collect the Detective Comics issues within those. So that's kind of a head scratcher there over at DC, but I guess we should be used to that. 788 to 789 are an arc called the Randori Stone by Paul Bowles. So he came back for a couple issues. That is not collected anywhere. That is right before War Games or War Drums, I guess. After City of Crime, but before the Face to Face story arc by James Robinson. 815 and 816 are called Victims by Shane McCarthy, also uncollected, obviously. And then if you're looking, like, I have a bunch of green on there because there's like 825, 829, 830, 832, and 842 are all collected, but they're collected within those paperbacks that contained the Paul Dini run. And so when the Paul Dini run got put into the omnibus, those issues were left out because they were written by other creators, Royal McGraw, Stuart Moore, and Peter Milligan. So there's of the material that was collected within Detective Death in the City and Private Casebook, which are those 3 paperbacks, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 issues that are collected, but they're kind of orphaned. And I don't have those paperbacks anymore because I just didn't feel like keeping paperbacks. 3 paperbacks for 5 issues didn't really make that much sense for me. So,
and I just stuck with keeping all of the Dini books. So I have those.
You have those
because I kept the trades instead of upgrading to the Omni.
But what's interesting is around that time, like, those paperbacks were collecting all of those issues without any like without any prejudice until issues, I don't know why, 5 or 835 to 836, Absolute Terror by John Rossum. I don't know, they just didn't collect those. So everything else, like in those Death in the City, Private Casebook, all those other issues, whether it be by Dini or someone else, are all collected. And then that brings us up to that 851 that I mentioned earlier, which was Denny O'Neil's Last Days of Gotham.
Yeah.
And then the last issue of the new or pre-New 52 Batman that's uncollected is 866, which is another Denny O'Neil story titled The Medallion. So there's more of Detective that hasn't been collected in any format, as far as I could find. The only part that I feel like might have been collected somewhere, so if someone knows, like, they can tell me, is the Dead Reckoning by Ed Brubaker, because there were, I don't know if you remember, around like 2009, 2010, DC used to do those like 100-page giants where they would reprint like old issues. And they put out a couple of those, or at least one of those, that had issues by Ed Brubaker, but I don't remember what they collected. I have a feeling they collected the stuff that's in those Ed Brubaker paperbacks, and it wasn't the Dead Reckoning arc, and that is still uncollected anywhere. But I just wanted to put that out there, that because I wasn't able to find that information myself in the limited amount of time I was willing to put towards that in this project.
I wonder if I can find these on the DC app, because I'd love to read. The DC app is good for current books, but it's very scattered still for older books. And I would love to read Dead Reckoning by Ed Brubaker. I've never read it.
Yeah, me neither. I would love to see that. So like after that, I did that. I did all that, and like my first, being me, my first idea was like, well, how does this omnibize? And then I started mapping everything, and I don't know if I should like save that for a return to like near mint condition with like Map My Bat or something. With
no F near mint condition. We're gonna do it on OmniBros.
All right, Map My Bat.
Whole thing. We're going to get this whole thing figured out, and we're going to show it to the audience. If you don't mind showing it to the audience, because obviously that takes away from your Patreon, but I think it'd be a lot easier for the audience to see what I can see is the red highlights what's not collected and the green is collected.
Well, if we can figure out how to, are you just trying to show your paper?
Yeah, I didn't want to show it so somebody could screen grab it and see it for free.
Try and figure it out at some point and like do something.
This is what it looks like.
Because I know immediately people are like, why is he not using Excel? And it's like, well, I honestly do not like Excel. I don't like spreadsheets. I like, because everything that I do is just lists, and I see things linear. So like when it's up into boxes, it makes it harder for me to comprehend exactly what's going on. So like when it's listed like this on a text document, it's so easy for me to tell what's going on. Like everyone else uses Excel spreadsheets, And so like going back to Map My X, for instance, Peter would share his with everyone. He'd be like, hey, just in case anyone needs it, here's my like spreadsheet, just so you have the issues that you can refer back to or know what I'm referring to. And I was always confused. I'm like, what the hell is this? This is a freaking spreadsheet. This is.
I'm the same way. I'm not good with those. This is much easier for me to understand in this format. Much easier.
It's easier for me. We're of the same cut of the same cloth in this, basically.
Aye, laddie, we are. And so then it goes into your potential omnibus chronology after
yes.
Black Mirror. And
so yeah, ending Detective Comics Black Mirror is the last arc before the New 52. Excuse me. Having like
New 52
medicine
okay.
books. Okay, so the potential omnibus chronology, I didn't map anything from the Caped Crusader or Dark Knight Detective stuff because I feel like that's just gonna, like, I don't know, that's gonna be a thing if it ever happens. And I didn't want to waste my time trying to like predict. It's easier to predict the stuff after because we have goalposts. We have Nightfall 1 through 3, and then there's a chunk of material that's not omnibized, if you will, and then you have Road to No Man's Land and No Man's Land 1 and 2. And so the idea of like what I was trying to put everything together into like some books, and I was like, all right, what what can this be broken up into? And the problem there is that like we have Contagion and we have Legacy, but there's a bunch of material before Contagion and a bunch of material after Legacy. And I'm like, I couldn't think of a great way to do it. And I was like, you know what? What I'm gonna do is like make up my own freaking thing. Like I'm gonna do a Batman Contagion omnibus and a Batman Legacy omnibus, but these are inspired a little bit by like the mapping that you would see from like X-Men books where like they use a certain event as like the pinpoint and then they collect everything else around it to like make sure that everything is in this format. So the first one, Contagion, would collect everything from like immediately post Nightfall through Contagion, which from what I found, like adding in additional things outside of Batman and Detective would be Batman 516 to 532, Detective 683 to 696, the Batman Chronicles #4, Shadow of the Bat 48 to 52, Azrael 15 and 16, Catwoman 31 and 32, and Robin 27 to 30. So that's a decent, 44 issue book that goes, like I said, it starts post Nightfall, so it collects the excuse me, it collects the material from the first and second Munch and Jones hardcovers, as well as the issue 526, which is not in those because it was by J.H. Williams, and it collects the entirety of Contagion itself.
I have an idea. Why don't we break tradition, and next Thursday's episode will be Map My Batman, and by that time
I'll just tease tonight.
Yeah, and I'll get the technology together to be able to share your list, and then we can go over. We've already talked about what's uncollected. Then we can go over all the things that you want that you mapped into omnibus form, and then we can go over New 52 to current, some OHCs that are needed.
Well, that was my personal list of like the ones that I don't have yet.
Oh, the ones you don't have yet. Okay.
Yeah, I bought like every oversized hardcover that I could, and there's just a few that I don't have. I like that idea, except let me. Are you still like free next week?
Yeah, I'm free till the 24th.
Let's try and do it on. Can I take up your Wednesday?
There's an OmniBros show on Wednesday, but
yeah, like can we do that on Wednesday and like
have them do Thursday?
Well, that way, because I don't think we did a Thursday manga show last week because I was differently ill. I had like a headache on that day. So I don't want to like shift around the manga show again next week because I
Oh
think it's
yeah,
a good
okay.
idea. Because like delving into this is a whole nother like hour worth of material,
Do you
and
want to
like
do it on Tuesday night?
so we can keep. Well, we do have to make up a show because we missed prior.
Yeah.
Okay, let me make sure. I'll double check with I'll come back and tell you, but I shouldn't have a problem with doing Tuesday, and then I'll do just Tuesday and Thursday. So I gave y'all a little taste, a little smidge of what I've got here.
Yeah,
With
and I think the audience deserves to see what your hard work is like, and in a format that I can understand and it's easy to
yeah,
find. Um, and then we'll put an ad for your Patreon at the end so they can go tip you for it since you did all that. But
okay,
but I'm especially interested in this map my Batman, and that would be the perfect name for the episode because these are all the potential omnis, and we are OmniBros, and
yeah,
this is
man.
all the potential omnis that could happen.
This is off, off top of my dome, what I was thinking, what we could do, what they could put out there.
That's right, man.
I was, putting things together, spitting things out, and I think I got some pretty good ideas here, my man. Like, we'll see.
Totally.
I
Only
have
you could
to,
do something like this, I think. This is how I discovered you. Making these lists back in like 2014 on Tumblr is
yeah,
how I
man.
discovered you.
Yeah, man.
Lists
And that,
like
that
this.
like this is I also have like solutions in here for like I used the word betwixt in one of these.
You, you did?
Yeah, I use the word betwixt, um, because I have a
Betwixt?
solution for all of those random issues that like were not collected in the Paul Dini book, like all that stuff. I got they're the betwixt issues.
Well, see, now that will get the audience to tune in
The
just to
word
see you
betwixt.
use Betwixt. You did use Betwixt. Batman Private Casebook Omnibus, collecting various issues betwixt other runs. Okay, yeah, no, we have to do a Map My Ex Betwixt.
So let's do a bat my map my bat next. We're saying Tuesday right now. So we're gonna be 4 nights in a row next week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Just fucking putting
OmniBros,
out content. That's
OmniBros.
gonna be a good one. And if
Yeah,
and then if someone else wants to come in and tell me that my maps are stupid, then they
we'll cut
can't.
them off.
They can see themselves to the door.
That's right. I'll put them in timeout for 5 years. Um, this is true, and we're hoping to help you guys on your collected editions mission to get as much Batman as possible. Because once these omnis are suggested, then I'm going to steal them and make a video about it myself and just say I was inspired by the Omnibus Collector. How's that sound?
And then you can and then
Make a
someone can
TikTok
send
video out
it
of it.
to DC, and then DC can ignore it and do terrible collected editions instead, leaving random gaps of issues that will never be collected.
Oh, I'd love an Omni called Batman Random Gaps. And it's
Batman
just
betwixt.
exactly. It's and it'll say all the betwixt issues that you've missed.
It doesn't even say which issues; it just says betwixt, and
It's
then
random.
and then
It's
you
betwixt.
get some stuff. They're like, trust us, you don't have these anywhere. You start reading it, and you're like, are you kidding me? These issues are in these other books, you buttholes.
I don't see that happening, man. My man Riley, that's how I discovered you. Your work is impeccable, and I am looking forward to Map My Ex.
Map my bat.
Yeah,
Hat my back.
here's the thing. We do need a DC Omar, and his name's Omar, and DC just doesn't cooperate with Omar as much as Marvel does.
DC is a strange beast. I talked to Omar, like, this was a few months ago at this point actually, about like their social presence, because like I was specifically telling him that Marvel should take advantage of their presence on TikTok that they already have by doing something that other publishers are doing with me. Like I do stuff with IDW and Viz Media on the app. And I was like, dude, Marvel should do that. They should have like Marvel ambassadors and send them collected editions to talk about. Like they'd get so much business because there's so many people who are like, what is this? Where is this? When is this? And I told him that they should do that. And then I think he asked like, well, what's up with DC? Like, what are they doing? Because I was telling him like, they already have a presence. They have like their Marvel TikTok account, but rarely do they talk about, they do talk about comics, but very, very rarely. It's usually about like the movies and stuff like that. And he's like, well, what about DC? And at the time they didn't have one. So I was like, oh, DC doesn't have anything. And he's like, yeah, that makes sense. They have since made one, but it's like way more movie focused. And I think they made it just like when Batman was coming out, so they could like ride that hype, that wave of hype on that. And like they do some pretty cool stuff with like, a lot of these companies where they'll invite creators to come out and like host premieres. So they invited this one girl to host like the red carpet premiere of Batman, and like she got to interview people and all that shit. So
it was a TikTok chick?
Yeah, a girl that makes content on there.
Nice.
So anyone who's on the app probably saw that stuff. But
Hayden has the question of the night, or I wonder what it's like to have an awesome brain like Riley. This is Riley sick. Well, think of him when he's clear-headed.
This is why I write everything down, because if I don't, it doesn't stay. Like that's why I have like all these. You know what? Okay, let's take a look at my. Not let us, but let me. I don't think there's a abbreviation for let me like there is for
let me.
us.
Yeah, let me.
Let me take a look at my documents on my computer, what I have.
And meanwhile, I'll answer James' question. Jess, did you end up eating ice cream and cereal after your wife took her mini vacation? I dropped her off at the airport on Tuesday. It's now Thursday. I have stuck to my diet 100%. She left me a freezer full of food for every day of the week she's gone, lunch and dinner. So I really am committed to. I went to the movie today and I didn't even have anything. That's where I usually like to get my 10-pound bag of sour gummies. And
hell
yeah. I saw a movie that was fantastic that I cannot possibly explain to you. Everything Everywhere all at once. Amazing film. Michelle Yeoh's tour de force. There's no way I can explain it. I loved it. My movie buddy loved it. We agreed our spouses would hate it. But we also loved it. It's an amazing accomplishment, but I also could not possibly describe it to you. You're going to have to trust me and go see it. And you'll have your mind blown away by how creative and awesome it is. But thank you for asking me if I, thank you, Max. Yeah, you're there in the background. You're the angel on my shoulder, Max. He's always checking in with me every day to make sure I stay on my diet. He's in the Netherlands.
I'm staying on my diet of ramen noodles and Spam.
Oh, that sounds so good. My wife wants to go to Hawaii, and I said, okay, if we can go next year on these days, that's called Spam Days in Honolulu, where it's a big 4-day Spam festival. And if we can go to that, I'll do whatever else you want to do in Hawaii. That'll be our one stop in Honolulu, because I don't like Honolulu. I much rather go to like Molokai and all these other undiscovered places. Well, undiscovered Lanai, everywhere else. Kauai's probably discovered by now. I want to go everywhere but Honolulu, but I want to go for the Spam Festival. I could eat Spam every meal of the day, 24/7, 365. I love Spam. You got to send me your creations with Spam.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a document of like various lists that I've written down. Usually I'll do it on my phone, and then I just recently transferred everything from the notes on my phone into my computer for prosperity. So I have like a list of like starting off Venom omnibuses I've mapped out. The entirety of Hellblazer from like issue 1 all the way through to 300 mapped out.
For Omnis?
Yeah, since we have the paperbacks done, like I mapped out how it should break down. Since they already
Oh,
set the precedence of like doing a creator focused omnibus,
yeah.
I went through and like figured out exactly what each of the remaining creator focused ones.
A solid handful, and that's like seven, at least 7 of the Hellblazer trades collections are out of print and going for large dollars.
I wouldn't be
That's not
surprised.
even complete. You can't even get a complete Hellblazer, even if you want now, because I don't know, what is it, 1 through 26? Like a
Yeah,
bunch of them are out of print already.
I wouldn't be surprised if like now that the line is done, they start actually just like letting some of them go out of print. But
That is tragic. Then they need to make Omnis. I would love to have Map My Hellblazer episode with you because I love
the
Hellblazer.
from what they had said prior, like they do deluxe editions and they do omnibus editions once like the paperbacks are sold out. So that kind of bodes well, I guess, for Hellblazer. Like if it sells out and if they decide not to immediately just reprint those paperbacks, excuse me, then that opens the possibility for those omnibus and hardcovers and whatnot.
Okay, so next week we're doing Map My Bat, and then sometime in the near future, you and I'll do Map My Hellblazer.
Yeah,
And
we
then
should.
what was the other
We'll
book?
make this. I did Venom stuff. I know you don't do that. I have.
I'd like to learn. I know that you helped me collect a bunch of trades
Yeah,
Venom that I didn't have.
I've got Flash, post-crisis Flash as well. But that, like, I don't know that stuff. Like, I haven't read the Meisner Loeb's run, for instance, but like just mapping everything out according to my creator is not that hard. But whenever I saw like that Mark Waid was getting a initial like his first omnibus is coming, I'm like, all right, well, let's see how we can do the rest of it. Um, so there's that. I have a I have a bunch of Hellboy stuff that's not in hardcovers yet, and just kind of like guessing how they're going to do that.
That's
Um,
when you should have Lou on for.
well, not
I mean,
a lot of them are in hardcover, but not like the bigger, thicky boys.
well, I was going to say he knows Hellblazer really well, better than I do, I think. I mean, I have everything I possibly can own Hellblazer wise, but I also haven't read it all yet.
I got Godzilla on here.
That's a Geo.
Yeah. Uh, Justice League International Volume 3,
That is none of us.
and then like the stuff after that. But the problem with the stuff after that is that a lot of it, especially looking at JLI and Justice League Europe, is written by a certain guy who is
Oh, is
not.
he in the Pokey now?
I think, yeah, I think he's in prison at this point.
That's going to be tough.
Swamp Thing.
Oh, I'll be on that with you. Map my
Full Swamp
swamp.
Thing maps. Swamp my map. Uh,
See
I
if you
have a
can be
whole.
sick for that one and talking like Swamp Thing too.
I'll try and like catch the whatever again. The Hanna-Barbera stuff, like before they did the Flintstones, I wrote this out and I was like, just put everything by Mark Russell in one volume. And they didn't, which is annoying. Like like how great would have that been if it was Flintstones plus Exit Stage Left, and then he did a Booster Gold Flintstones one shot, which I think is collected in there. Maybe. I don't know. I'd have to double check.
In Flintstones? Oh, in the deluxe?
Yeah, and then the Green Lantern Huckleberry Hound issue, which is a really great companion piece, I feel like, for Snagglepuss.
What? Okay. Whoa! I haven't read those. Those
That was
have those been collected?
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, come on, do some work here.
Light did not do jack. I'm trying to see. Oh shit, it's underneath a lot of stuff. Okay, so this is my overflow closet.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The Hanna-Barbera is at the bottom over
Yeah,
there.
I see it. Uh-huh.
There's a paperback. These two volumes are DC meets Hanna-Barbera volumes 1 and 2. And they collect a bunch of one-shots that were released.
Oh, you mean these two books?
Yes, you have it.
I have them, and
You
I haven't
should-
read them. They're the last two Hanna-Barbera books I haven't read.
Yeah, so
Thank you
you
for this
should have
episode.
Green Lantern, Huckleberry Hound one-shot.
Booster
in
Gold,
there.
The Flintstones, Green Lantern, Space Ghost, Adam Strange, Futures Quest, Suicide Squad, Banana Splits. That's awesome.
That one's a really fun one.
This other one, Super Sons Dynamite. I remember that one. Black Lightning, Hong Kong Phooey, The Flash, Speed Buggy Special, and Aquaman Jabberjaw. How have I not read these? These should have been the first thing I ever read. Okay, putting them out to be read. Thank you for pointing that out.
Maybe it is collect because I don't think you mentioned Green Lantern, Huckleberry Hound.
I don't. Okay, wait. Green Lantern, Space Ghost. I didn't see Green Lantern in the next one, so I don't see Green Lantern, Huckleberry Hound.
Maybe it was collected alongside.
Green Lantern, Huckleberry Hound. What would that have been collected in?
With Exit Stage Left, because it was written by Mark Russell.
Wait, Exit Stage Left. The one book.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's in there.
Wait, I got them all right here. Snagglepuss Chronicles plus a Snagglepuss story from Suicide Squad Banana Split Special. No. Oh, wait, Huckleberry Hound. Wait, I just saw something about Huckleberry Hound.
So maybe it is in there.
Wait. Or Huckleberry Hound might just appear in this. Going Underground. I believe I just saw Huckleberry Hound in here. Where are you, Huck? This might be part of the... Well, here's Huckleberry Hound. But I think it's part of the story.
Yeah, it's just part of the main. That's weird. I swear it was collected somewhere.
All right. I am totally up for Map My Hanna-Barbera once I read DC meets Hanna-Barbera.
That might have been... Going back, I feel like there might have been a couple things that were not collected. So
yeah, I love these books, and man, I totally think it would be an Omni. I don't know what the sales were like.
Well, that's where they specifically had meant, because someone specifically asked about Flintstones, and they said if it sells out, we will consider a hardcover. And so it sold out, and then they did a hardcover. So I feel like if the rest of the stuff sells as well, that they might be able to, but I think they missed the boat on like including Exit Stage Left with the Flintstones, because they work really well together.
Yeah.
But especially like in regards to the other stuff, like Future Quest would make an excellent omnibus. Future Quest, and then Future Quest Presents.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of those single issues that could go in there as well. Adam Strange / Future Quest, Green Lantern, Space Ghost, the Spectre and the Funky Phantom, Shazam and Captain Caveman, and they could even shove in the Space Ghost by Joe Kelly and Ariel Olivetti to pad it out a little bit more. Like that would be an excellent one. So after that in my list, I've got a bunch of Star Wars stuff, like the Marvel stuff, and then a couple of X-Men ones.
Boring. What I want to do is map my bat, map my bat, map my Hellblazer, map my Swamp Thing, and map my Hanna-Barbera. Count me in for those.
All right. Well, so we don't wind up doing a million shows all the time. Like maybe for the if you want to do like
whenever we need a fill-in show, maybe
once a month on one of the Wednesday shows or something.
Sure, that sounds good.
Maybe twice a month if we're feeling saucy.
Well, I'm always feeling sassy. I'm here serving up sassy omelets 24/7. So
cool.
Yeah,
I like the idea. So let's reconvene next Tuesday for the Batman stuff, and I'll go through all that stuff. And if there's anything else that you think that I should look at with Batman, like any other characters or any other titles, because like I said, I only focused on Batman and Detective. I can try and add that stuff in there because I have a whole 5 days before that.
Sure, whatever you want to do. Thank you, Heroic. I live in Honolulu. If you come out here, feel free to hit me up for some dining suggestions. I will do that. I'm going to be full of spam while I'm in Honolulu, but my wife hates spam, so I'm sure she's going to need to find a place to eat. And your eyes are glowing blue right now. It's amazing. Your eyes are glowing blue. Okay, wait. Yeah, don't. Let me take a screenshot. Deet. I'll send it to you so you can see.
What?
Oh, I just lost the screenshot. Damn it. Well, no, now they're normal. But back there,
yeah, the blue lenses.
Oh yeah, your eyes look great there. What are you looking at?
The show.
Oh, the show. But you're
because they're blue lenses.
Yeah.
To help with they're supposed to help with the light or whatever, so you don't strain your eyes as much. But I don't know if there's any legitimate science behind that. I think they just like to upcharge you for stuff. Do you work on a computer a lot? Yeah. Okay. Here you go.
So we will reconvene for Map My Bat next week. Don't forget to patronize our fabulous sponsor, InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions up to 50% off, 48% off on these some new releases this week, up to 65% off in the spring sale. Loyalty discounts add 2% to that. There's always a $50 gift card given away at the end of every month. $50 or more in an order gets you free shipping in the U.S. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's ist.com.
And the best part was bringing back the deals of the week.
Yeah.
Finally.
That's awesome.
A little bit I think it's 48% instead of 50, but so it's 2% less, but that's like 10% better than the typical Marvel.
Yeah. And then if you have your loyalty discount, it is 50%, right? Yeah. So that's a good deal. Good deal.
If you live somewhere that doesn't have to pay taxes, then you save on that as well.
Where is that now?
Florida and Oregon?
I'll move to Oregon. I'm not going to move to Florida, but I'll move to Oregon.
Isn't Nate out there?
Yeah. I'll move right next door to Nate. And then we'll never get anything done. We'll just be playing with toys and reading stories to his kids.
It's a good life, man.
I think so too. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Thank you, Riley. Obviously you're not feeling well. I appreciate your willingness to go on the air, even though you were not feeling well. For once, I'm feeling well and Riley's not. Doesn't happen often, but please feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. We are the OmniBros, and we'll be back again tomorrow night, and then Monday night, and Tuesday night, and Wednesday night, and Thursday night. It's all OmniBros all the time. So thank you, everybody. Where can they find you on the internet, Omnibus Collector? Lots of places, I think.
the Omnibus Collector on YouTube, the Omnibus Collector on TikTok, the Omnibus Collector on Instagram, and Omni Collector on Twitter. I'm trying to get a little bit more active on Twitter, but it's mostly just me retweeting things and like commenting on friends' posts and stuff. But I'd like to do that a little bit more. And I'm kind of coming out of a little bit of slump on my YouTube and getting back to doing weekly videos. Because I took a last month, I only did like 2, I think, videos instead of 4. So I'll get back on that as well.
And you can find me, OmniDog, on OmniDog's Vault on YouTube and OmniDogs_Vault on Instagram. Peace and love. Peace and love. Thank you to IST. Thank you to everybody that participated in the chat. Thank you to the lurkers. And thanks to everybody who is who posted and who took part in the chat. That was a lot of fun. And I'm looking for what Geo uses for the where's his end thing? Oh, I'm just not. It's not working. Yeah, there, that works. Okay, everybody. Peace and love. Peace and love. Good night. Thank you very much.